Hi Steve fans and welcome back. As many of us are returning to diving proper after an enforced layoff due to COVID-19, I thought it might be useful to run through a few skills and drills that can be done on practice dives at an inland site or in the sea at your favourite shore diving spot. Regardless of your level of experience, some of these will apply and they'll certainly get the old grey matter working. For those here for the first time, my name's Mark, I'm the Editor-in-Chief of the Scuba Diver media brand, and welcome to the Scuba Diver YouTube channel. Take 2 seconds, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future videos, and ring that bell so you get notification of the latest releases. Want some free stuff? Everyone loves free stuff, right? Check out the description below for all sorts of goodies, like a free digital subscription to any of our magazines. Where we can, we'll link you to the destinations or equipment we talk about in the support our channel section in the description. For transparency, we'll earn a small commission each time you purchase after clicking on one of these links, and this will go directly back into making more content for you to enjoy. Now, let's dive into the video. We all get a little rusty after being out of the water for several months, and with the COVID-19 lockdowns, in many cases, some of us have been out of the water for way longer than we normally would. To help get back up to speed, why not have a go at this 5-step skill circuit that was kindly devised by Tech Supremo Howard Payne. Most problems can be picked up and eliminated before we even get in the water. Training always stresses the importance of a good pre-dive check, and yet they tend to get a bit slapdash after a while. I reckon it's one of the most important parts of the dive, so whatever your training agency, stop the rot now and start doing those checks properly. Open all those pockets and actually touch and check each piece of safety equipment like DSMBs, octopuses and gauges to make sure they're working and in place. Good tech divers reach behind their head to do a flow check, which ensures all their valves are open. As a single tank diver, you can do the same. Practice reaching back to your tank valve and checking it's fully open before getting your buddy to double check for you as before. Pre-dive checks are more than just practical. They get you in a calm, organised frame of mind before you even get in the water and get you and your buddy working together as a cohesive team. Pick a route for your first few dives that starts deep and then works shallower in big stages. These sudden changes of depth really challenge your buoyancy and keep you on the ball. You might start at 20 metres or 66 feet and then aim to come up throughout your dive in 4 metre or 12 foot increments before ending with your safety stop at around 5 metres or 15 feet. Want to really nail your buoyancy control? Find yourself a shot line in about 12 to 15 metres. So about 40 to 50 feet of water, or simply use your DSMB and a line attached to a weight. Start at the surface, and as you descend with your buddy, you can clip plastic clothes pegs to the line in 3 metre or 10 feet increments. When you reach the bottom, ascend, stopping to collect your pegs. Try to hold depth and position for 30 seconds or so at each level. I'd advise you not to repeat this drill too often or you'll get bent, but it's certainly worth doing at least once, as it really tests your buoyancy, precision and control. And it also blows away the cobwebs for holding a safety stop and completing smooth ascents. Over to Mark for a word from our sponsor. New for 2021 from Apex is the Thermic Carbon Core range. The Thermic Carbon Core tops, which come in male and female versions, both long and short sleeve, feature a triple layer soft shell fabric that is combined with a neat graphene lining. This acts as a superconductor, regulating skin temperature by transferring heat from warm spots to cold spots on the body. These can be used as a standalone thermal rash guard in warm waters or as an extra layer under a dry suit. For more information, check out the description below. Now, back to Mark in the studio. Talking of DSMBs, deploying one is an essential skill for any diver, and so it's worth getting that down pat as well. Get an old DSMB and put a small hole in the top of it with a hole punch or a soldering iron. Find a platform, ledge or just a sandy bottom at around 5 metres or 15 feet, and then you can repeatedly practice DSMB deployment with your buddy. As the DSMB hits the surface, you'll find the air spills out of the small hole and you can wind it back down again and repeat the drill several times without having to surface. Try hovering just off whatever's under you rather than kneeling as you become more proficient. DSMB seem to be the cause of so many diving incidents, either failure to use one at all or just using one incorrectly. You need to practice DSMB deployment until you're so slick you barely even need to think about it. It's one of the key safety survival skills that seems to catch so many divers out. And remember, every diver should carry their own DSMB and reel spool. Don't rely on one per buddy team. If you end up separated at depth, the one without a DSMB and means of deploying one is going to be SOL. Outer gas drills are just about the most important thing we can practice, but few of us do it often enough. An outer gas diver is not a rational human being. When you go to breathe in and get nothing, calm politeness goes firmly out the window. It's nothing personal, but if your octopus emergency second stage is a black reg crammed into a BCD pocket or hidden somewhere around your waist, then your outer gas buddy will simply take the one out of your mouth, and you'll be left trying to find the other one for yourself. If you have a standard setup, octopuses need to be yellow with a decent length yellow hose and stored using a simple device, high on the chest where they're most visible as you swim along on the dive. If you're using a long hose rig, then make sure your secondary is securely mounted on a neck bungee and that you're proficient at donating the long hose while moving on to the other reg for yourself. Whatever your setup, practice your out of gas drills until they're second nature in the shallows. Then try calmly but unexpectedly hitting your buddy up for gas at some point during these training dives. Pick a moment when they're ignoring you or have allowed some separation to build up, and the lesson becomes all the more useful. The unexpected drills are always the most valuable learning experiences and build your capacity and awareness much more than those that are staged and pre-planned. Try a full outer gas ascent with a DSMB deployment towards the end of your training weekend to really up the ante. This one is a little more dependent on where you dive, but the principle is the same, and it's a good set of skills to have in your arsenal. Diving in places like the UK or off the northeast coast of the USA is pretty much all low visibility, and consequently it's very easy to get separated. There are now a whole bunch of compact handheld dive lights with powerful LED heads for decent money on the market. Get one and practice using it as a communication tool with you and your buddy, and you'll find it makes seeing them in the gloom and staying together much less stressful. This is a skill set worth developing, as it equally applies to dawn and dusk dives in better visibility areas, not to mention night dives, or just for when the viz unexpectedly drops. What are some of your top tips for getting back into the swing of diving after some time out of the water? Leave your comments below, and if you've got a question, fire away, because if we can't answer it, maybe someone in our community will be able to. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget you can grab a free digital magazine subscription in the description below. As always, stay safe, and if you're going diving, enjoy!